I got to say is FGB, because the Chicago Bears have beaten the Green Bay Packers 24-22 at Lambeau Field on a game-winning 51-yard field goal from Cairo Santos. Their first win against the Packers in 2,210 days. I'm Harrison Graham. Welcome into our Bears Now post-game show. The live chat's already doing it. You know what to do. Get the FGBs in the chat. What a win. What a wonky game. I mean, kind of the perfect game to end the season, but for once the Bears were on the right side of it. Incredible ending. I mean, you gave it away with the DJ Moore fumble. You got it back. You get a horse collar. Caleb makes a couple of throws to put him in position, including the inside dagger route, not too dissimilar from the one to force overtime against Minnesota. Clock the ball with 2 seconds. Cairo bangs it in from 51 to beat your arch rival 24-22. And I know there's a small portion of the fan base, but the draft pick, who cares? You've got to beat the Packers if you're going to be a contender in this division, if you're going to be a contender moving forward. There has been a mental block against this team for the Bears. They were 3-26 in their last 29 against Green Bay. They hadn't beaten them at Lambeau Field since 2015. To win this game, to see the player reaction, to see how much it meant to these players and coaches, all of which probably won't be here, coaches-wise, like that mattered. Winning that game mattered. You ended all of this. You had lost 10 in a row this year. You had lost 11 in a row to the Packers. You hadn't beaten Green Bay, period, since 2018. You hadn't beaten them in Lambeau since 2015. So to find a way to beat this team, and by the way, it helped knock them down to the 7th seed. I don't even know if Washington won or lost. I can check that in a second, but you played your part in hurting their playoff seeding. Now they have to go to Philadelphia and play the Eagles. What a win. And if you looked at the box score and you didn't watch this game, you'd be like, oh, the Bears got hammered, right? Outgained by 140 yards. Actually good on third down, but penalties you lost. TOP pretty even, but you pulled out all the stops. Some worked, some didn't. You had the punt return touchdown from Josh Blackwell. Remember the Johnny Knox, Devin Hester one back in whatever year that was, 2013 maybe, where you had the 2 returners back. You kind of had all the return team go block for the second returner. Blackwell catches it, takes it to the house. That gave you an early lead. You forced a fumble inside their own red zone. You punched that in to go up 14-3 early. And then you were kind of just hanging on from there, and you found a way. Wasn't pretty. I thought there were some bizarre coaching decisions, including not one, but 2 Keenan Allen reverse pass play calls. One was picked off, the second on a 2-point conversion, which was then bailed out by a defensive holding, and then you kicked the extra point. That was weird by Thomas Brown. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach, but came up with a great play call late to get you into field goal range. Caleb Williams threw a beautiful dagger ball to DJ Moore, got into field goal range, and you won the game. And at the end of the day, to beat this team when it's been so one-sided, it doesn't really matter how. Now, it is a little sweet that your rookie quarterback, who's gone through the ups and downs this year, has had multiple game-winning drives taken away by incompetence and lack of execution from others, is a big reason why you drove down late and got into field goal range. That was nice. But regardless of how you won this game, you beat the God-forsaken Packers. And that absolutely matters. Chicago or whoever is playing Green Bay, that's what it means to be a Bears fan, and the Bears finally exercise some of those demons today. More to talk about, including just a little bit of chatter on the coaching search. But first, we got to talk about our sponsor, Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play for just $5 on your initial lineup. Doesn't matter if you win or lose that $5 entry. You're going to get that bonus there. And listen, Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states. 10 million customers and counting playing Prize Picks in North America, and you should be one of them. Tons of different sports available. If you're like me and had a horrible season-long fantasy football team in your fantasy leagues, well, daily fantasy is better. New players, new lineups, different sports, crossing over sports with your lineups. 2 or more players, you can win up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups. Yes, $10 can turn into 10,000 on certain lineups with Prize Picks. Make some money today. This is my entry today. Jordan Love did not return in the second half, so I hit the Caleb Williams touchdown pass. So I should get the injury insurance there. I should get my money back on that particular lineup, because you do get injury insurance. If a player leaves in the first half, does not return, and didn't hit his mark, they have you covered, which is awesome from Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get started today. Pick more, pick less. That code CLNS, when you play for $5, gets you an additional 50 for free. Check it out today. Link is in the comments and in the description. All right, a few more thoughts on this game, and then we'll talk the coaching stuff. Caleb Williams. I don't really know. I said this at some point in the game. I don't know how you evaluate the game as a whole when the game plan was just run the ball and run like a million screens. A couple of which worked. DJ Moore touchdown pass, about 30 yards. Good block on that one. A couple more worked. A lot didn't. It was cold. It was windy. The O-line was spotty early. Thought they actually played pretty well down the stretch. They held up. But again, I think what you can evaluate is overcoming the adversity on that last drive. The Bears were with the ball up to, got a couple of first downs, one more first down away from taking a knee. He throws it to DJ Moore, who fumbles the ball. And Green Bay takes a lead on a 55-yard field goal, and you're like, they're going to lose again. Well, you hit a couple big-time throws, clock the ball with 2 seconds left, Santos makes it. Like, that's quick memory. That's playing quarterback in the NFL. You have to flush when things don't go your way and bounce back. And the Caleb to DJ connection in that second half was very strong. I would say out of those 9 catches and 86 yards, I would guess 7 or 8 of those catches were in the second half. I'd have to go back and look, but that was clearly a focal point to get him into space. I mentioned it earlier, that dagger concept is what they ran against the Vikings after they got that onside kick too. Hit that one and clocked it several weeks back. So for Caleb, given all the ups and downs this year, the coaching chaos, him not playing well at times, offensive line issues, play calling issues, a playbook that's not Thomas Brown's that he's trying to make it work, I think we saw in several big moments, he did what he was supposed to do this year. And a lot of the time, like we saw in Washington, like we saw the first time against the Packers, like we saw the first time against the Lions, like we saw in a few other games, his team / coaching let him down. Today they did not. They found a way to bounce back. That DJ Moore could have ended the game. They could have just folded after that Brandon McManus field goal with less than a minute left. But they didn't. Went back to work, they got into field goal range, and they won the game. And that matters. How much does it matter? It's hard to say. Every season's new. Does it carry a lot of weight into next year? If you were playing the Seahawks, I would say no. If you were playing the Cardinals, no. But this team had carried such a mental edge over you for years. So to finally beat them, I don't know how you measure it, but it counts for something. It counts for something. And in a shitty season, you finish on a high note. And for me, that's something. First time I've seen the Bears beat the Packers since I started this YouTube channel. So I, for one, am fired up. Now, the attention is going to shift to the head coaching search. Here are some names that have been linked. I would say these first 4 have been the heaviest rumored names. Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Brian Flores, Cliff Kingsbury. Of note, Vikings-Lions tonight. The winner of that game, you can interview coaches on that staff since they have a bye before their first playoff game starting this week. So if the Lions win tonight, they can virtually interview Ben Johnson. If the Vikings win, they can virtually interview Brian Flores. That applies for Aaron Glenn as well, obviously. More coaches here. Haven't heard a lot of Joe Brady, Liam Cohen buzz recently, but those are guys I would at least interview. Pete Carroll wants back in the mix. We'll see if the Bears are interested. Diana Rossini mentioned Anthony Weaver. That feels underwhelming. Kellen Moore, I don't think is getting enough buzz. I would at least talk to him. He's worked with several different quarterbacks and had pretty good success now. Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts. So he's noteworthy as well. We, of course, are going to have every coaching news item, rumor item covered starting potentially tonight. We might have another video, but for sure tomorrow we'll get after it. You guys let me know. Because as great as today was, you need a clear direction moving forward. I think we've seen you have a capable quarterback. Can you get him the right coach? And then can the leadership, whether it's still Ryan Poles or a different GM, I would guess Ryan Poles, along with that coach and his staff, get the pieces necessary on top of what this roster has to be competitive next year? Because the goal needs to be competitive next year. So we'll see if it happens. Who do you want as the next head coach? Let us know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button because we're going to be here all offseason long. What a way to end a mostly forgettable season. Bears win 24-22. Subscribe, and we'll see you soon.